Have you ever experienced someone walking away from you and suddenly feeling like everything has changed? It's a moment that flips the entire dynamic. She didn't see it coming, did she? But here's the surprising reality. The moment you step back, the energy between you shifts completely. Suddenly, she's the one left wondering, questioning, even chasing. Why does this happen? Why does your absence hold so much power? It's not just about walking away, it's about creating space that forces a deeper reflection. When you step out of the picture, it leaves a void. That void, it makes her think about what's missing. It challenges her to see things from a new perspective, to question what she thought she knew about you, about herself, and about the relationship. But here's the thing, this isn't about playing games. It's about understanding human nature. It's about realizing that sometimes stepping back gives someone the clarity they need to see your true value. And trust me, this strategy isn't about manipulation. It's about respect. Respect for yourself and your own worth. By the end of this video, you'll understand why creating this space can have such a profound impact and how it can make her not only miss you, but also appreciate you in ways you never imagined. So, if you're ready to unlock the secrets to building deeper, more meaningful connections, stick around. Oh, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights. This is just the start of what's possible. Let's dive into the first key, the power of the void. Section 1. The void. She didn't see it coming. When you take a step back, you create an undeniable gap in her life, a space she never truly noticed until you weren't there anymore. It's not just about your physical presence, but the emotional and mental energy you brought into her world. Think about it. Every shared laugh, every meaningful conversation, every small moment left its mark on her mind. When you're gone, that space doesn't just vanish, it becomes a void, and she feels it deeply. Here's the fascinating thing about human nature. We often don't realize the true value of something until it's no longer within reach. For her, your absence doesn't simply represent missing someone. It creates a disruption in her emotional rhythm. The little things she took for granted, your laughter, the way you listened with genuine care, the small gestures that made her feel seen and appreciated, start to stand out in sharp focus. These memories play on a loop in her mind, reminding her of what she's lost. So, why does this work? It's all about contrast. When you're present, it's easy for someone to overlook your importance or assume you'll always be there. But the moment you step away, your absence becomes something she can't ignore. It forces her to confront the role you played in her life, stirring emotions she may not have even realized she had. That said, this effect only happens if your presence truly mattered. If you brought value, authenticity, and meaning into the relationship, your absence will feel like a missing piece of the puzzle. On the other hand, if you were overly dependent, controlling, or didn't contribute positively to her life, walking away won't leave the same impact. This is why building a genuine connection is essential. The stronger your bond, the more profound the void you leave behind. When your time together is meaningful, your absence becomes a powerful force, one that not only makes her reflect, but also makes her long for what's no longer there. Section 2. The mystery that builds desire. Mystery is one of the most powerful forces in attraction, yet it's something many men overlook. When you're always available, texting her constantly, sharing every tiny detail of your life, you take away the element of curiosity. She feels like she already knows everything about you, leaving no room for her imagination to wander. But when you step back and embrace a more reserved, purposeful approach, you become the enigma she can't stop thinking about. Here's why this works. Women are naturally curious, and curiosity is often the spark that fuels desire. When you're no longer an open book, her mind starts racing with questions. What's he up to? Why hasn't he reached out? Is he seeing someone else? These thoughts create a loop in her mind, drawing her focus back to you again and again. But this isn't about playing games or being manipulative. True mystery comes from living a full and meaningful life. Focus on your passions, pursue your goals, and be intentional about what you share. For instance, instead of giving her a play-by-play of your day, you might say, "It was a busy day, but I got a lot done." That simple statement keeps her wondering, leaving room for her imagination to fill in the gaps. Another key aspect of mystery is unpredictability. If she knows exactly how you'll respond or what you'll do next, things can quickly feel routine. But when you introduce small surprises, like being unavailable for a while or picking up a new interest, it keeps her guessing. She'll start craving your attention because she doesn't know when or how it'll come next. Ultimately, mystery isn't about withholding, it's about balance. Share glimpses of your life, but never reveal everything at once. Keep some parts of yourself reserved, not to create distance, but to build intrigue. This subtle push and pull dynamic sparks her curiosity and keeps her captivated. When you pace the way you share your world, you create a connection that feels exciting, fresh, and full of possibility. Section 3. The emotional connection. At the core of every meaningful relationship lies an emotional connection. It's what transforms a fleeting interaction into a bond that feels unshakable. When you step back, you're giving her the space to realize the emotional void you've left behind. And here's the thing, true emotional connections aren't easily replaced. Think about the moments you shared, the laughter over inside jokes, the way you made her feel truly seen and understood, and the times you stood by her when she needed support. Those aren't just memories, they're emotional imprints. When you're no longer there, those imprints don't fade, they grow sharper. She'll find herself replaying those moments in her mind, and with each memory, a longing for you deepens. But here's the real truth. Emotional connections aren't created through big, dramatic gestures. They're built piece by piece through the small, consistent actions that show genuine care. When you truly listen to her, when you validate her feelings, when you're fully present in the simplest of moments, that's when the bond forms. It's not about grand declarations. It's about creating a space where she feels valued and safe. When you walk away, that bond doesn't vanish. Instead, it becomes a noticeable void, something that's nearly impossible to fill. Others may come into her life, but if they don't make her feel the way you did, their presence will only highlight what's missing. And that's the undeniable power of an authentic emotional connection. It makes you unforgettable. This isn't about control or manipulation. It's about recognizing the value of the moments you've shared and the impact you've made. A genuine emotional bond is rare, and when you create one, it sets you apart. It leaves a lasting imprint, one that lingers long after you're gone, reminding her of the connection she had with you and the one she may never find again. Section 4. The contrast effect. The contrast effect is one of the most profound psychological principles in human behavior. It explains how our perception of something changes when it's compared to what came before. In relationships, this principle can work to your advantage in ways you might not expect. Here's how it plays out. When you're always around, Giving her your time, attention, and energy, it becomes her baseline. It's what she's used to, and over time, it might even fade into the background of her daily life. But when you remove yourself, when you step back and take your presence out of the equation, you create a sharp contrast. The attention, care, and presence she once took for granted suddenly vanish, leaving a void that's impossible to ignore. This contrast forces her to reflect. She starts to notice all the little things she may have overlooked before. The way you made her laugh, the sense of stability you brought to her world, and the unique bond you shared. It's like when music stops playing in a room. The silence makes you acutely aware of how much the melody meant. But here's the key. For the contrast effect to work, your presence must have been meaningful to begin with. If you didn't add value to her life, or if your time together wasn't impactful, your absence won't leave a lasting impression. That's why it's crucial to show up as your best self when you're with her. Be confident, intentional, and engaged. Show her your genuine interest, your sense of purpose, and your unique energy. When you consistently bring your best, the impact of your absence becomes undeniable. It's not about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's about creating moments and memories that stand out. Then, when you step away, the contrast highlights everything she valued in you, leaving her to reevaluate what she may have taken for granted. This is the power of the contrast effect. It doesn't just remind her of what you brought to her life, it makes her crave it all over again. Section 5. The Scarcity Mindset. Scarcity is one of the most powerful psychological triggers when it comes to desire. It's the reason limited edition products sell out in minutes, why we value things that are hard to obtain, and why walking away can make someone miss you more than ever. When you step back and create space, you become scarce, and scarcity naturally increases value. But let's be clear, this isn't about ghosting or playing mind games. It's about living your life in a way that demonstrates you're independent and not reliant on anyone's attention for your happiness. Spend your time chasing your passions, working toward your goals, and building a life you're truly proud of. When she sees you thriving without needing her validation, it sends a message that's impossible to ignore. You're not easily replaced. Here's the fascinating part. Scarcity doesn't just increase your value, it also taps into her fear of loss. When she senses that she's losing something meaningful, your time, your energy, and the connection you shared, it creates urgency. That fear of missing out on something special forces her to reflect on her own actions. She'll start asking herself, did I take him for granted? Did I push him away? How can I win him back? These thoughts don't just linger, they compel her to act. The key to making this work lies in authenticity. Don't pretend to be busy or act like you're moving on. Instead, genuinely focus on yourself. Invest in your growth, nurture your passions, and surround yourself with people and experiences that add value to your life. When your actions come from a place of sincerity, the effect is powerful. When she sees your life moving forward without hesitation, she'll feel the gravitational pull to be part of it again. And if she does return, it'll be on your terms, not out of neediness or obligation, but because she recognizes your worth. This is the essence of the scarcity mindset, showing that your value doesn't decrease in your absence. It only becomes clearer. Section 6. The role of time in amplifying her feelings. Time is one of the most overlooked yet powerful forces in attraction. When you step away, it's not just the act of leaving that leaves an impression. It's the time you spend apart, that deepens her feelings. But why does this happen? Because time gives her space to reflect. It allows her to process her emotions, and as the days go by, the memories of you don't fade. They grow stronger. Think about it. When you're always present in someone's life, they rarely have the chance to stop and truly appreciate you. It's only when you're no longer there that the little things begin to surface in their mind. She starts to replay the moments you shared, the laughter, the conversations, the times you made her feel special. With each passing day, those memories become more vivid, and her longing to reconnect grows deeper. Time also brings an element of mystery, which only adds to the effect. She doesn't know what you're doing, where you are, or who you might be with. That uncertainty sparks curiosity, and her mind starts to wander. Questions flood in. Is he moving on? Has he found someone new? Does he even think about me? These thoughts create a loop, constantly pulling her focus back to you. But here's the important part. You can't let this time go to waste. While she's reflecting, you should be growing. Use this period to focus on yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Hit the gym, work on your passions, and invest in your personal growth. Elevate your life, not for her, but for yourself. When the time comes that your paths cross again, she won't just see the person she remembers, she'll see someone even better. And that's the power of time. It doesn't just make her miss you, it creates the perfect opportunity for her to see your worth in a whole new light. Section 7. The subtle power of indifference. Indifference is a quiet, yet incredibly powerful force in attraction. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about genuinely being at peace with whatever happens. When you're indifferent to the outcome of a situation, it demonstrates emotional security, a quality that women naturally find magnetic. So, why does indifference work so effectively? Because most people, especially in relationships, are accustomed to being pursued. When you show indifference, you break that pattern. You're not chasing her, pleading for her attention, or trying to prove your worth. Instead, you're focused on living your life with purpose and confidence, and that shift in energy is intriguing. But let's be clear, indifference doesn't mean being cold, dismissive, or uncaring. It's about valuing your own happiness and growth above all else. Your sense of self-worth isn't tied to whether or not she chooses to be in your life. This mindset is rare, and that's exactly what makes it so powerful. When she notices that you're unfazed by her absence, it forces her to pause and reflect. She'll start asking herself, why isn't he chasing me? Did I misjudge him? Did I make a mistake? This kind of self-reflection often sparks curiosity and can lead her to take action, to re-engage, and to seek your attention. However, here's the crucial part. Indifference must be authentic. You can't fake it. It comes naturally when you genuinely invest in yourself, your goals, your passions, and your personal growth. The more you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, the less you'll feel the need to depend on anyone else for validation or happiness. This quiet confidence, born from true indifference, isn't just attractive, it's magnetic. It shows her that your happiness doesn't hinge on her presence, and that makes her see you in a whole new light. Indifference, when rooted in authenticity, doesn't just shift the dynamic, it transforms it. Section 8. The emotional roller coaster effect. Relationships, like all human connections, are deeply driven by emotions. One of the most powerful ways to leave a lasting impression and make someone miss you is by creating an emotional roller coaster, not through manipulation or games, but by understanding the natural highs and lows of emotional connection. When you step back and distance yourself, you create a low point in her experience. She feels your absence, the void left behind, and the lack of the attention and energy she once had. This isn't just about missing your presence. It's about the emotional drop that naturally happens when something meaningful is suddenly gone. Then, when you reappear, whether it's through a chance meeting, a brief text, or a meaningful interaction, you create a high point. The contrast between your absence and your return amplifies her emotions. It's like a song where the verses build slow anticipation, and when the chorus hits, it feels powerful because of that contrast. The emotional build-up during your absence makes your return feel all the more impactful. But here's the key. For this roller coaster effect to work, the high points must be authentic. When you're present, you have to bring something meaningful to the table: positivity, energy, and a genuine connection. It's not enough to simply show up. You have to show up in a way that adds value to her life. The stronger the emotional connection you create during these high moments, the more deeply she'll feel the low moments when you're not there. This dynamic gives her time to reflect during the quiet moments, to recognize your impact, and to feel the longing for what she had. And when you return, even briefly, it feels like a surge of emotion, a reminder of what makes you so memorable. Ultimately, the emotional roller coaster effect isn't about control. It's about creating meaningful experiences that leave an imprint. When you understand how to navigate these emotional highs and lows with sincerity, you deepen the connection and make her realize just how much your presence truly matters. Section 9. Why women value self-discipline. Walking away takes a great deal of self-discipline. It's not easy to distance yourself from someone you care about, especially when every instinct is telling you to reach out, check in, or try to fix things. But this very act of restraint is what makes it so impactful. Women deeply value men who can control their emotions and actions because it reflects maturity, strength, and self-mastery. Discipline is attractive because it's rare. Most people act on impulse, especially in relationships. They send that late-night text, make unnecessary calls, or over-explain their feelings in moments of vulnerability. But the man who can resist these urges stands out. He's in control of himself, and that control creates a magnetic pull. When you step back and maintain your discipline, you send a powerful message. I don't need you to validate me. I am secure in who I am. That kind of confidence and self-assurance is incredibly appealing. It shows that you're not just talking about being high value, you're embodying it. You're showing through your actions that you have control over your impulses and emotions, and that you respect yourself enough to maintain boundaries. Self-discipline doesn't just enhance your appeal, it builds trust. When a woman sees that you're consistent in your behavior and don't let fleeting emotions dictate your actions, it creates a sense of security. She knows you're not unpredictable or driven by momentary impulses. Instead, you're steady, grounded, and reliable. Not because you're always available, but because you're emotionally stable. This stability and composure make you unforgettable. It leaves her reflecting on what sets you apart from others, and that reflection often turns into longing. Self-discipline doesn't just show strength. It demonstrates that you respect yourself and the relationship enough to act with purpose. And in a world where impulse often rules, a man with self-discipline becomes rare and highly valued. Section 10. The power of letting go. At the core of walking away lies the transformative power of letting go. This isn't about giving up or admitting defeat. It's about releasing your attachment to the outcome. Letting go means freeing yourself from the need for her validation, and that freedom is one of the most empowering shifts you can make. Here's the beautiful irony. The moment you truly let go is often the moment she begins to gravitate toward you. Why? Because letting go creates space. Space for her to feel your absence, to reflect on what you brought into her life, and to come to her own realization about wanting you back. It shifts the dynamic entirely. You're no longer the one chasing her. Instead, you become the one she finds herself thinking about, missing, and seeking. This isn't about playing games or pretending to be indifferent. It's about genuinely being at peace with whatever happens. Whether she returns or not, you know you'll be okay, because your happiness doesn't depend on her. It depends on you. And that's the most powerful part. Letting go isn't about her at all. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your inner strength, focusing on your personal growth, and creating a life that fulfills you in every way. When you let go, you're not just stepping away from the relationship. You're stepping toward the best version of yourself. This transformation is what makes you truly irresistible. It's not the act of walking away, but the person you become as a result. When you let go of fear, insecurity, and neediness, you radiate confidence, self-respect, and purpose. And that's something no one can ignore. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on how letting go could change your life. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's grow together, building a community rooted in strength, wisdom, and self-mastery. See you in the next one.